and gentlemen, Danny Harrison.
Thank you for having me tonight. I'm truly honoured to induct one of my all-time favourite bands, Electric Light Orchestra, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Take a look.
It was me, Roy Wood, Dave Bevan, Richard Tandy. We were sort of fed up with playing the usual style of rock and roll, the three guitars, bass, And so we said, let's bring the strings into the scene.
I was messing about and I was playing all these Jimi Hendrix riffs on the cello, and it sounded great. Jeff said, I like the sound of that. And that's how ELO was born, really.
We were all massive Beatle fans. Larry was trying to emulate Strawberry Fields and the Walrus,
like big sliding cellos and stuff. Obviously there's an influence.
I heard John say, it's a nice little group, that.
Electric Light Orchestra, I call them Son of Beatles, although they're doing things that we never did, obviously.
But you think, you obviously want to be your own thing.
So we wanted to do something different.
I've been doing sessions for The Move, and then they formed ELO and asked me to join.
Since then I've never looked back.
Roy left after about 3 months. It proved to be a big opportunity for me because I was now the sole songwriter and the producer.
When you write a song in your mind, you can hear how a record should sound. When you start actually creating it and it does sound like that, it's great. It's a nice feeling to think, yeah, it really does work.
I consider my music sort of more of a craft than art.
It was a nicely gradual thing, really. We became huge.
Go to the fans to appear live because they really want to see you.
And then gradually it built up over a few years until it got to be outrageous, with the big flying saucer and all that stuff. It was impossible to recreate the sound I got on the records with all the orchestra and the choirs. It sort of worked, I suppose. Nobody ever said, it doesn't sound big enough.
Those songs have lasted all these years, and they're still kind of relevant in their own little way. As a songwriter, that's all you can ever ask for, that the music does reach a lot of people. It's exactly what I imagined ELO to be.
If my father was still with us here, I'd imagine he'd be standing where I am right now, graciously inducting the original members of ELO into the hall. He loved ELO, Beatles loved ELO. One of the great songwriters, producers, musical innovators of our time, a rare genius, a real life legend, and ELO's mastermind for nearly 50 years. My dear, dear pal, Jeff Lee. Jeff was one of my father's dearest friends. It was March of 1986 when I had my first close encounter of the ELO kind. This was my first big rock show. I was 7 and a half, and from my perspective, ELO's performance that night was less like that of a reputable rock band, more like witnessing a 21st century extraterrestrial spaceman wielding bizarre instruments. Reminded me of like the Star Wars Cantina band, only with lots more hair. It was epic, and I wanted to be transported, beamed up, probed, whatever. I just wanted to join that team and never go back. So after a dozen or so songs, my father gets up from his seat. Suddenly he reappeared on the stage carrying a guitar. And I began to panic, because this was the first time I'd ever seen my dad play an instrument, ever, on stage in my entire life. Out of nowhere, in perfect unison, they all kicked into Johnny B. Good, just like in Back to the Future. And I remember thinking, what is going on? And my father's being abducted by like an intergalactic space orchestra. Again, ELO's taken my father and left me behind, the bastards. And to my joy and surprise, joining us after was ELO's extraterrestrial wizard captain, the man in the middle, Jeff Lynne. He'd come to live with us on Earth, and Jeff was soon a permanent fixture at our house. He worked with Dad on Cloud 9. And then there was the Travelling Wilburys. I got to be a fly on the wall. I got to see his genius as a producer. During all of those sessions, I came to realise that a lot of my dad's friends were, in fact, from outer space. Like Jeff. You could tell because of their eyes, right? Their eyes were far more sensitive to Earth's bright sun than normal humans. So they required special lenses to protect them during the day and most of the night. Years later, on a personal note, and I know this is a bit sad, but one of my final conversations I ever had with my dad was whilst we were trying to complete his final record. It seemed, we'd run out of time, and he told me, take the masters and seek out once again that space wizard, Jeff. And that together, we would know what to do, So I did. Working with Jeff was one of the most amazing times I've ever had, and seeing those beautiful blue eyes peeking over the top of those space lenses has carried me through some of the toughest musical moments in my life. And for that, I thank you. And so, it's my great honour to induct ELO into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Please.
First of all, I would really like to thank Jeff for his dedication to writing the songs. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been invited here tonight. That's been the main thing, is the songs. And also to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for this wonderful award. It really means a lot. Thank you very much. Hi, this is Jeff.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's been a long road, I'll tell you that. And it's such a pleasure to get one of these, because I've watched lots and lots, hundreds of them, of people getting them all the time, and I go, oh, I wonder if I'll ever get one of them. And it's like my dad said, everything comes to him what waits. It's true. And talking of my dad, my musical education actually was, I was walking down the street one day with him when I was about 7, and in the street there was a great big sewer pipe, and he went to the sewer pipe and he went, ha 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 ha, and of course it echoed like a choir of angels. It was beautiful, and that's how I learnt harmony, believe it or not. And he said, come on, you have a go, and of course I was 7, so I went, ha 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 ha. And it was so fantastic. I went, God, is that all you have to do? And that's a chord. And that is a chord, and I thought, I can do a chord. That was the way I got started, really. So, thank you all very much for enjoying my music. And thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny. And I'd just like to say, Richard couldn't be here tonight, and that's a shame. And Bev couldn't be here tonight, but Roy was here tonight, which is great. And thank you all very much indeed. You made a fool of me, but them broken dreams have got to end.
got the blues, 'cause you ain't got nobody else to lose. There's an upland road that leads nowhere, so just make some miles between here and there. There's a hole in my head where the rain comes in. You took my body and bred you in. Ha ha ha, crying straight, but you ain't got nobody else to blame. Separate ways, you found a full line of days. Hi, woman, what you gonna do? You destroyed all the virtue that the Lord gave you. So good that you're feeling pain, but you better get your face on the very next train. Yeah.